Bet you've seen that before. I have a question. Is pornography just a modern problem? Think about that. Is it just a modern problem? The answer, of course, is no, it's not. We think of it often because of the ease of these little things and the seemingly anonymity that was given. But pornography, when we look in the Old Testament, God gave strict guidelines since the fall of man for how sex was supposed to be carried out and done. But Jesus takes it even farther. Not just saying the action is a problem, but more. Let's look at it. Matthew chapter 5, verses 27 through 30. You have heard the command that says, you must not commit adultery. But I say that anyone who looks at a woman with lust has already committed adultery with her in his heart. So if your eye, even your good eye, causes you to lust, gouge it out and throw it away. For it is better to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hellfire. And if your hand, even your strong hand, causes you off, throw it away. For it is better for you to lose one part of your body than the whole body to be thrown in hell. You have heard the law says a man can divorce his wife by merely giving her a written notice of divorce. But I say that a man who divorces his wife, unless she has been unfaithful, causes her to commit adultery. And anyone who marries a divorced woman, also commits adultery. And although Jesus is saying man here, it's true for both men and women. Men, as according to all the science we have today, are more visually acute. But that doesn't mean that women don't have a problem with pornography. And Jesus is, as he was saying with other things, once you start doing these things, once you start going down this path, this is where you're going to end up. You're as guilty as doing that. Why is that? Because if you're looking at pornography, you're already rehearsing it in your mind. You're already approving of what's happening. Now that's for somebody who has any type of morality. That is, you want to say no, it's not the same. It's not the same. But if you're getting an arousal or something feeling out of it, then guess what? It is. It is. Because why? Because all of a sudden we're looking at people as something we can use, which is part of the problem. I could go into more detail about this, but the thing I want to point out here today is that pornography, we use other people or their actions to get personal gratification. Now, some people say, well, it's no big deal. They're doing it of their own free will. Well, that's not exactly true. Some, of course, do it on their own free will on the internet. Now, this leads into a whole other area of sexual trafficking and things that are happening around the world where we don't see it. All somebody might see is something on the screen, but they don't realize the intimidation, the things that go on behind the scene where women are being abused, they're being manipulated, they're being treated no better than cattle. In fact, in many places, cattle are treated far better. God doesn't want us to look at other people in the eyes of what we can get out of it, how they can satisfy our own desires. Love and sex inside of marriage is supposed to be more than just what I get. The problem with pornography is it causes these thoughts, and also studies show that it brings down resistance inside people. The more you're into it, the more deeper you want to go. It's like any addiction. You want more and more of it. We think that especially people who use the computers or their phones to look at, hey, it's not a big deal. Nobody knows, I'm not hurting anybody. But you are. First of all, you're hurting yourself. Jesus makes it very clear. You are, in your mind, already committing those acts. You are many times in your body are committing those acts. Oh, they don't hurt anybody. They do. First of all, like I said, you to look at people as objects to satisfy your own desires. Second, it hurts other people because now all of a sudden people are thinking that their bodies are something they can use to get something. Instead of looking at the things that God has given them as a gift, they use it as something lightly, something sacred, according to Scripture, which sex is. Sex inside of marriage is sacred. God created this. Also, here's another thing. Sex is not bad. Sex, God said, is good. He created it. It was actually in the world before the fall. So it's not bad. It's very good. But abused, like anything, it becomes very, very bad. Because it's something that's supposed to be sacred between two people. And nothing cheapens it as much as just showing it to everybody. Some people say, well, that doesn't bother me. Some people don't think a lot of things don't bother them, so it shouldn't bother me either. But it bothers God. God came and created this. There's a lot of material out there for people who, if they're having problems with pornography, with addiction, there's help. For most, everything I've read said it's impossible to do by yourself. And don't take chances. Put up the firewalls. Put up the things. Turn on the safe surfs. We have tools now that can keep us safer. And if you're having more trouble than that, then there are programs out there that can block things on your phone and your computers. You have to take the step to do it. Also, find help if you need it. Find someone you can trust to talk to about it. This is especially in Christian circles, it's a subject we don't like talking about. But Jesus says, this is wrong. From the statistics we see from women who are forced into a lifestyle they would not have chosen otherwise, we can see this is not just a harmless problem, a small indulgence like eating a chocolate bar. No. This is serious. It's a serious problem. And if you don't have that problem, thank God for it. Guard against it. You say, well, Pastor, what do you do? Well, I'll tell you, I have people that talk to me regularly. Pastor, you're making sure you're not doing things you're not supposed to. You're making sure to watch the internet. Keep your guards up on the internet. Yes, I have those people in my life. Why? Because I don't want to take the chance to go down that path. I want people there to help me. Guarding yourself is important. Because here's the truth. If you're not careful, you will be exposed to it. Once you're exposed to it, you have to make a choice. What are you going to do? Someone used to say, you can't stop a bird from flying over your head, but you can keep it from making a nest in your hair. Well, I can't say much about building a nest up here, but I can say this. There are so many things to even keep them from flying overhead. You need to take advantage of it. Second, when something does come up, you don't say, well, I've done it now. I've seen something. Might as well. No. Stop. Get away from it. Don't let it corrupt you even further. Don't let it change your heart. Some people say, well, I don't watch pornography, but I do watch some of these R-rated movies, and there's sexual scenes in them, but there's no big deal. Yeah, sure. I like the action scenes. I'm not into that other stuff. Then are you fast forwarding? Are you editing it so all those scenes are cut out? I would say probably not. We like to make excuses so we can get that little bit of rush. People do. Don't be one of those people. If that means that you're going to miss out on seeing this really, quote unquote, great program, then miss out on it. It would be better to lose your hand or your eye than to go to hell. Say, well, one episode won't hurt me. One series won't hurt me. Are you sure? Once you release that within you, are you going to start something that's going to start an addiction? It's going to lead you to a place that's going to be worse. You don't know. So you need to guard your heart. And this is just true, and though it's very true in the sexual area, there are other areas in our lives too, where we can see things on social media, on Netflix and Hulu and all the other things that are out there. They've got some great stuff, but there's also stuff out there you need to watch out for. Maybe what you need to do is tell Amazon Prime, no more. Because you can't control it. You have to guard your heart. You don't want to go down that path. Because where it will lead will be destruction. Does Jesus want you actually to cut off your hand and gouge out your eye? No, it's a hyperbole. But it's that serious. It's that serious. Are you willing to do what's necessary to stop the problem you have in your life? Be it pornography, be it unjust thoughts, whether it's gossip. Yeah, maybe if it's you've got gossip in your life, the thing you need to shut off is Facebook. I don't know. You've got to guard your heart, and you've got to decide what needs to be cut out to protect you so that you won't sin, so that you won't do things that will lead you and others, because we always affect other people, down the wrong path. Pray about it. Think about it. God bless you. Go with God. And remember, God has good stuff in our lives. We're on the downer today, but there are good stuff out there. So don't let this message pull you down. Remember, God's got so much good stuff in our lives for us. He's not trying to rob us. He's trying to give us the best life we can have. God bless you, and have a great day.